Hello and welcome to Nerdarchy. For nerds, by nerds. I'm Nerdist David. Today I'm hanging out with Crafty Mirage from
Hi,
over on the TikToks. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. It's my day off, so I'm just nerding it up today.
Nice. Days off are good.
They are
Uh,
amazing.
so if you'd be so kind of introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you.
So I am Crafty Mirage. As of 4 months ago, I am a D&D content creator. Before that, I was just a normal nerd, but I guess I'm doing some things right on the Clock app, and I started doing just a bunch of like nerdy D&D based content. People seem to like it. People seem to enjoy it. And 4 months later, me and some friends created a community together that is just quickly taking over D&D TikTok is pretty much what's happening with it.
And you can absolutely rock a unicorn onesie. So,
Oh, thank you so much. I love that thing. I don't need a blanket when I sleep with it, and it's just fantastic.
so you're doing pretty good for only creating content for the past 4 months. You've already got like over 6,000
Yeah,
followers.
I
That's impressive.
just hit 6,000 a couple days ago.
Congrats.
Thank you.
I remember like the early days of YouTube for us. It was like 6 months of crickets.
Yeah, I so I originally just got onto TikTok to promote my Etsy store because I make dice bags. I crochet dice bags. But like I wasn't getting a lot of like followers or traction just doing the dice bag videos. So I'm just like, I'll just do some D&D like little videos and see how that works. And then it just turned into a thing.
Oh, do you have any of those handy?
I have this just Molly Mock colored one. It's got like from Critical Role. It's got like this is my personal one just because he's my favorite character. I got some custom fabric printed, which is the lining of his coat. And in my office, oh, to the side here, I know it's in here somewhere. Yep, here they are. Just grab a handful of them because I do have them. I have them at the ready at all times. I have some Schools of Magic bags that are like I themed them based on the colors of the Schools of Magic in the player's handbook.
Okay.
Like so, I think this is illusion. No, this is enchantment. This is enchantment.
Are they color coded in the player's handbook? I don't even.
Yeah. So like the spell book, like I went to D&D Beyond, but like they're in the spell. Like I think they're in the books too. I don't have all the books, but like in D&D Beyond, like an illusion spell or a enchantment spell like has like a specific like the little icon has like a symbol on it and then colors.
Oh, cool.
I got the Schools of Magic one, and then I got this dodecahedron bag.
Oh, nice.
It's like a purse and it fits like 60 sets of dice. Back in the office you go.
Did you stuff it with 60 sets of dice to know that
I
indeed...
did. I 100%. Yeah, I stuffed it with a ton of dice. I'm pretty sure it's 60. I can double check on that because I'm pretty confident it's 60, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, well, also dice come in different sizes, so
They do.
Your mileage might vary.
My mileage very, very well may vary.
So how did you get into crocheting neat nerdy stuff?
I used to make like those little like crochet plushies. It's 30 sets of dice, by the way. I was incorrect. It's 30 sets. I doubled it unintentionally. I started crocheting like these little like Pokemon plushies and just like other like animal plushies. And like I started needle felting them. Some of my friends seemed to like them. They would commission them for me every now and then. And then like it would take me so long to make one of those that I knew I couldn't make a sustainable business off of it. And so I'm just like, I'll just move on to dice bags because I just got into D&D this year. So I'll make some dice bags for people and see how they like them. And like I started with like, I just gotten into Critical Role, so I made a bunch of Critical Role themed bags.
And so when you say this year, 2021 or
2021.
Oh, nice.
I've been playing D&D less than a year.
Nice. That is like one of my favorite things that I'm seeing is that folks are coming to the hobby brand new and then they hit the ground running, like they're doing stuff already.
Yeah, like I have learned so much, and it's all like I'm about to be hitting the 1 year mark of like in a couple months of me getting into Dungeons and Dragons and wanting to play. and I am finally going to be DMing my first campaign.
Oh, congrats.
Yes, I'm excited.
So what got you into D&D now?
So my grandmother died October 2020, and like it was a struggle because like she helped raise me and everything, and I work in a hospital. I'm a healthcare worker, so I was dealing with the additional like burnout and depression of just like constantly not getting a break because of the COVID pandemic. So like I was suffering from insomnia a lot too. And my husband would go to bed, like me and him at the time had opposite schedules. He also works at the hospital. So he would go to bed and I would just like be up for a few hours later because I worked evenings. And I started just watching some D&D podcasts on YouTube.
Okay.
And I had played D&D in the past and I didn't like it because like I said, like I told you before, it was mainly the group players I was playing with that were making the experience unenjoyable. But I started watching like Critical Role and Dimension 20 and all these other like people that like play D&D on streams and stuff, and I'm just like, these people are actually role playing. That I can get behind. All right, I'm gonna try this out again and like emphasize that I'm looking for a group who likes to role play.
How old were you when you tried D&D the first time?
I was in college, so I was like, it was like sometime between the age of like 20.
Oh, college age. Okay, so
I was college. Like, well, I started college late too.
Yeah.
So it was like early to mid 20s.
So like when we first started playing, there was no role playing like per se. Very little, back in like the 80s. It was something that kind of got introduced to our, great gaming group gradually over time.
Right.
Into like the current incarnation. So we probably were more originally like those players you didn't like.
Probably, but like everything evolves eventually.
Well, and that's just it too. It's like you have to evolve and change, and usually at our table we have like all kinds of different players, and some of them still talking third person, some people talking first person, some people will use a voice, and when they're using the voice they're talking in character, but when they're not using the voice they're talking with them.
I'm that player.
So and our thing is like we just welcome whoever wants to come to the table, as long as you're not being an a-hole to the other players.
Exactly.
Enjoy the game your way. And also I do find like when you start like mixing and matching the player types, like the groups just start kind of like gelling together, and like
yeah,
don't do a lot of role playing start doing more, and players that maybe don't min max as much might start adding a little bit more into their game. So we can blend all the things together and have fun.
It's a melting pot.
It is a melting pot.
A melting pot of nerdom.
So what kind of content do you like to make over on TikTok?
So I got to I have the Chaotic Conclave community that I mainly work with, and it's just mainly me and like TikToker DM Zombie, Clays Creates, Took, I guess, Nightmare Demon, and now DM Wolf because he's turned into Strahd, so he's in. And there's a couple of others, but mainly it's we have these characters that we created for D&D TikTok, like we cosplay them and everything while we make our content, and we have legitimately just been creating this like little tiny campaign that people can watch using just like TikTok audios and stuff, or like music and stuff with like captions and everything. And it's just it's literally like, that's the best way I can describe it. It's a D&D campaign on TikTok. There's just no roles. We're kind of just doing the story aspect of it. But like there's what people aren't seeing is that there's constant like communication and planning between like the content creators, just like, all right, so this is what we just did. So what if we do this next? And what if we do this next?
How does one join the Chaos Conclave?
You want to be in?
I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what it is yet.
You want to join? You're in. It's literally at this point, it literally is just something that it's just like how to, like every time someone asks that, it's just like you don't need permission to join. You want to join, you just start. You want to make content with us. If you just want to be a fan and watch, you're in. You're in.
The bars, so you don't have to be jumped in or anything. It's not like
No.
Is it that easy to leave the Chaos Conclave?
Yes,
though?
you can just like dip out. You can just like roll a natural 20 on stealth and just like sneak out of there.
Yeah.
No one saw you.
And how long has the how long have you been doing that?
Since October.
Okay.
Since
and
October.
what brought it about?
So DM Zombie had a reputation on TikTok for not liking bards. He said it was like the worst class ever. So we just jumped on him, just like friendly, like bullying, like not bullying, but like we were just like messing with him, just being like, oh, all the bards are exclusively duetting you now. And then he got banned for several days, like twice. And we were just like, okay, no, we're sick of it. This was supposed to be a fun little joke between friends, and now we're just tired of it. So here's a new hashtag. We're the Chaotic Conclave, and we're here to just be friends and just do content together and have fun. But the Chaotic Conclave was originally going to be the name of our stream, and it's still going to be the name of the stream we're eventually going to be doing. Only now it's just a community as a whole.
So you guys are planning to do like a Twitch stream?
Yes.
When's that going to be kicking off? Do you know?
We don't know just yet. It's going to be like sometime early next year. Not too early, like a few months down, like within the next 6 months probably. But because we have to like find a DM still and everything, and just because life and like the eternal BBEG of D&D, which is scheduling.
Yes.
So we're just like working out that stuff first.
Scheduling is the worst.
It's the worst.
You mentioned that you're going to start DMing.
Yes.
What game are you DMing for? Cool.
Wild Beyond the Witchlight. When this book, I love the Feywild. It's my favorite realm in Dungeons and Dragons. I've always loved fairy tales. And this thing stinks of Alice in Wonderland in a way that I just am on board with so much. Like I read the first chapter of it just to like prepare myself and like see how I want to tie in my players' backstories and everything. And I'm just like, I'm having too much fun with this already, and the campaign hasn't even started.
Now you just need players.
I know I have the players. I have 3 of the 5 already worked out, backstory wise, classes, and all that stuff.
Is that going to be an online game or a home game?
No, I'm a baby DM. I don't need that additional pressure. So
I don't mean like necessarily stream. Just I guess.
Yeah, it's an online.
Versus...
Yeah, it's online. I grabbed it's my husband and some of the people from our D&D TikTok community that I know well enough, and that I'm on familiar terms with, that I know that they are very chill people, and will be able to like help nurture my DMing skills rather than just be all like, but what about this? But what about this?
So did you and your husband get into D&D together?
He's been playing since when, hun? How long have you been playing D&D?
Since I was 6.
He's been playing D&D since he was 6, and my husband is 39 now.
Oh, okay. You're married to an old guy.
I'm married. He looks like he's in his 20s.
Yeah.
He's
I'm in my 40s and look
like
like I'm in my 60s. So
he's aging like fine wine.
Yeah, he's got a painting someplace.
Probably there's a painting in a like a dark room that no one can look at, that is just like getting older as he stays beautifully young.
Yeah. So why did it take you so long to get into D&D?
I didn't know about it that much, honestly. I didn't know it was a thing.
I mean, was your husband sneaking off and doing it? Like, what's he doing?
No, it wasn't that. Like, cause we had D&D. We were in a gaming club in college together, because like he when I started college, he came back, like he returned to college, and Well, we had like we were in a gaming club and we did D&D nights, but I wasn't enjoying them. I wasn't
Yeah.
vibing with the groups and everything and the players. So I kind of just like not my thing.
Yeah.
Not my thing. And that's fine. But yeah. I've been a nerd all my life, so I knew it was a thing. I just didn't think it was a thing that I would enjoy because like I was a video game nerd. Jester, leave the closet alone, please.
So what was the draw at this time in your life that made it work for
Critical Role.
you? Okay, watching D&D streams and seeing
Watching D&D streams, that's what sparked it because I was seeing these people tell amazing stories and I love storytelling. I love that part. I love creative writing. I love reading. I like reading stories. When I play a video game, I do not think it's a good video game unless the story like emotionally moves me.
Okay.
Like unless there's like an like I think a video game is 100% perfect if it literally brings me to tears. I cannot say anything bad about a video game if it brings me to tears. If I can cry, if you make me cry, you made something good.
Nice. I remember the first time I had a player cry in my game, and it was a stream game. And I was like,
Oh,
I was like
God.
a deer in headlights. I didn't know what to do. And they're like, no, it's good.
Like,
it's the story was just emotional. I'm like, okay.
Like we've done some play tests, me and the players that are going to be doing that Chaotic Conclave stream. We've done a couple of play tests just to see how we vibe as players. And we actually had some tearing up.
Nice.
Cause like we're all just hardcore role players and like we're gonna do this. I don't want to reveal what we're gonna do in case any of the community members are watching because we want to keep it a surprise for when it happens in the game. But there's one thing that we're gonna do and we had to do it. It's a mechanic that we're doing and we had to do it in our play test to test out to see if it would work. And it literally was bringing like the players to tears. We're just like, no, I can't fucking do this. I hate this rule already. And we're like, do we want to get rid of it? No, we're keeping it. I love it and hate it at the same time.
Is it the make the players cry mechanic? Is that
it's the make everyone cry mechanic. It's good. It's good. I'll message you about it later.
Nice. I don't know if it will work on me. My daughter says I have no emotions. So I had them surgically removed at a young age.
Yeah, surgically. My cat's just staring at me.
Well, that's because you're on the internet and cats know.
They know.
It's made for them.
Nope. The second I try to pick her up to go on camera, though, she'll just be like, nope.
Yeah. Does your cat not like being picked up?
Not by me. She's my cat, but she's my husband's cat.
Yeah, I mean, we've got 3 cats and none of them like to be picked up.
She'll let me pick her up, but she knows it's like she knows I'm picking her up to go on camera and she doesn't like that attention.
Yeah. It's got to be on her terms. Yeah, the one cat screams if you pick it up. The other one, all the murder knives come out. And then it'll eventually begin growling. And then the other one only has 3 legs, so I feel like she gets skittish with a lot of things.
Like we named her after one of the characters on Critical Role. Cause she's my emotional.
She also likes to draw dicks everywhere.
100%. No, she's my emotional. She's my emotional support animal, and Critical Role was really helping me through some of my depression this year. We're just watching it and everything. And my husband, he knows how to train cats, and he's telling me that if there's an S sound in a cat's name, they'll learn it better. They'll learn it a lot faster, which is accurate because we've had an S sound in all of our cats' names before, and they've learned their names within like a day. So
I didn't know that was a thing.
I didn't either until I met him, but yeah, Jester or Yasha would have been the names to go with, and we both liked Jester so much.
So apparently your husband is proficient in animal handling.
He is very proficient in animal handling. He has got this cat trained. She is a very polite little girl.
In that case, I have 3 cats that could use some training.
He could give you tips. He could. They work. They work.
Brian Smith says you can train cats. Yeah,
You can
I don't know
train
if I believe it
cats.
either, Brian.
You can train cats. I am seeing it happen with that little girl right there. If you can make her out.
Yeah,
Jester.
you can see her through the window. Now it's
Hi.
looking because she knows you're talking about her.
Hi, Jester.
The one cat we have is a polydactyl, and
Dactyl.
I always thought like he would claw us because he couldn't retract his claws. But
Mm-hmm.
then what I learned over time is the truth is he's just an a-hole.
He's just
And he can retract them if he wants to. He just generally chooses not to.
he's just an asshole.
See, Allen says cats train their pet humans. I feel like that is more accurate.
No, she doesn't got us trained. That's for sure. She can't train us.
Yeah, you guys are untrainable.
No, yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Caesar Milan can't do anything with us.
So, what is your favorite part about being a content creator?
I do enjoy seeing just like people like I've recently gotten like some people saying that like that my content, seeing my videos and everything makes them really happy. It like brings a smile to their face every day, and I'm just that's the part that I like. That I like in some way that I'm making someone smile.
Has it done what you initially intended it to do and push people
Yes,
towards your
actually.
Etsy?
Yeah, I've had people buy some bags off my shop. Like it's because they are crocheted. I don't make them very quickly.
Yeah.
Like I try to make them as fast as possible. But when they do go in the shop, they generally tend to sell very fast.
So generally, how long does it take to make a dice bag?
Well, I work 40 hours a week, so I pretty much just crochet with any free time I have. Like I'll just like mine like if I'm like sitting in the on the couch watching TV, that's when I'm generally crocheting. But depending on the size of the bag, if it's a small like little pouch of a bag, like the ones that can fit in like the palm of your hand, that one won't take me too long. It'll take me like maybe like a day.
Crocheters they're the ones that they call themselves hookers, right?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Very much so. There's a shirt that I have my eye on where it's just like that. It says that I'm a naughty hooker, and naughty is spelled KNOTTY.
Oh, nice. I find the D&D talk crosses over with a lot of other talks.
It's a circle. There's a TikToker, Dungeon Mistress Paula. She'll be like, here's D&D TikTok circle, and here's that side of TikTok circle. Yeah. She's like,
look, they fit inside of each other.
They're a circle. It's a circle. Like she just literally put a different color marker on top of the first color marker.
Yeah.
Like, it's a circle. And it's just a thing now. We all agree it's a circle.
It is accurate for sure. So we had one player that knits, and they were playing this spider character in the one game. Mm-hmm. So they would just knit the whole time we streamed, and it was kind of like in character.
I do that too. Like I like to fidget. Yeah. Like usually I'll try to make sure I have this thing with me, my fidget cube, but generally but crochet, it's a good way to fidget too, and at least with the crochet I'm doing something productive.
What are some of your favorite TikTokers? Like were you already absorbing the content before you started creating content, or did you start off creating?
I was absorbing the content before I started creating. Some of my favorite TikToker, I love Mr. Kurtwise. Mr. Kurtwise was one of the first TikTokers I followed on that app. He's the guy he's like the bigger guy that does like the party bard who just dances all the time.
Yes.
I adore that man. I was like super sick when the day he followed me back, and I wanted to react so badly, but like literally I was done out for the count. Like I was sick on the couch, like vapor rub, all cold medicine, the whole 9 yards, and like I just get a notification on my phone just like Mr. Kurtwise followed me. I'm like, I can't react. I was just so happy. I also love Hello Operator. Hello Operator is just hilarious.
He's got the best voice.
He's got such a good voice. Me and him mutually exchanged blackmail on each other.
Okay.
It's just like, here's something embarrassing of me, here's something embarrassing of you. Let's do
Yeah.
like we got dirt on each other. I also like Papa Lycan. He's on YouTube now too, but he does a lot of the D&D monster stat block contests. I
Okay.
just won one of those. I can't wait. Of course, I love my fellow conclavers. DM Zombie, Clays Creates, Took, I guess, Nightmare Demon. We just like I love how like the
Is
stuff
it
we're doing
took?
together.
Took, I guess, is that the name, or
That's
you guess you like them?
no Took, I guess. That's his name.
Okay.
That's his handle. Took, I guess.
That works. That because it would be funny to
He's
name all this. I like these people, and I guess took.
he's gonna be coming to visit me on my birthday. It's
Cool.
like it's gonna be fun.
And that is the thing that I love about conventions is like finally meeting up with all my internet friends.
We're already making plans to meet to for all of us to just meet up at Gen Con and just get hilariously drunk together.
That sounds like a thing that'll happen.
That happens at every convention. Like you find your
Yeah.
group of friends and you're like, all right, here's the bottle, let's go.
Yeah.
We're
I
hiding it
mean,
under the big cosplayer's skirt.
I don't even I don't even do most of the con things when I go to cons, really. It's all
It
like
really
networking and just meeting up with people that I know from the internet.
and like a couple of panels.
Sometimes.
Like whenever I went to like anime conventions, like especially
uh,
I went to YomaCon a lot when I lived in Michigan. I mostly just went to like the Team 4-star panels and like the roast of little Karibo when he finally moved over to the States. But other than that, I like kind of just like prowled around Artist Alley and just went to like the party areas.
were you doing cosplay before D&D?
I was trying to, but it's expensive. It's so expensive. So I was able to I had a few cosplays, but just they weren't good.
Well, I think it's a lifestyle. It doesn't have to be good. It doesn't have to be expensive. I think part of it is the fun of doing it.
Yeah. Like I feel like I'm doing it better now that I am on D&D TikTok just because I've gotten more life skills from when I first started in high school, especially with like sewing and
Yeah.
like understanding how to follow instructions on project like project tutorials. It's like, nah, I can just wing it. No.
No winging it.
No, follow the instructions for the dyeing process so
Yeah.
that way it'll come out correctly.
Do you have cosplayers that you follow? Do you have any favorites?
I have a couple of cosplayers that I follow. I follow Ember Wolf. She's a UK cosplayer. I'm just like I'm always blown away by how she can make herself look so different
Yeah.
in like each of these cosplays she does. Like it's like and I know like part of me is like I know it's the same person, but it looks like someone completely different.
I've always like blown away by Mage Knight.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that one.
He's really good.
I'll have to look him up.
Yeah,
I love looking at
I
cosplayers.
imagine you may have even seen some of his cosplays because they just seem to show up a lot of different places.
I just like cosplay TikTok is a very special area of TikTok that just like I'm
Yeah.
mesmerized every time I'm on that area.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that okay, so I didn't find him on TikTok. I don't know that he's over there. But I think if you just Google Mage Knight,
Mage Knight? Okay.
yeah, for
I'll do
sure.
that.
We got to meet him at one of the conventions we went to, one of the smaller ones in Ohio, Concoction, a few years back, which was pretty cool. But he'll always do like these, like I'm going to make this cosplay in 3 days, and like throw them together.
I'm always just so amazed that there are people that can actually make a living doing that.
Yeah,
I'm like, how do I know like I can get on board with it, but it's just like how?
yeah. Well, so he just does like whenever he takes money for anything he does, he only does charity things. And I think I think he works in law enforcement or something, which is
Oh.
weird because anyone that I've ever known that's been in law enforcement, they tend to not have any kind of life online. But I think he like works for like like a county sheriff or something.
Okay.
But yeah, some of the best cosplays, and I think the thing that I really like is the fact that like he puts them together in generally like 3 days, and it's like he'll do the progress like throughout, and post that kind of stuff.
Ugh, I love it.
But yeah. So what else do you have planned? You're talking about doing a Twitch stream, so this stuff is you've got the conclave going on. You guys have future plans, or just winging it?
We're kind of just winging it right now. Like the stream that we want to do, we're not going into it with like any high expectations, because we know that the market is kind of oversaturated right now with D&D streams.
Yeah.
So we're just kind of like mostly just like viewing it as something fun that we can do and share with like the friends that we've made online. But we do definitely want to keep doing like the content creating together, because like we just enjoy doing it so much. I myself personally, I'm trying to learn how to do this social media stuff, like social media marketing and everything, because like I'm finding that I'm enjoying doing this.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to see if I can try to make a career out of it, even if it's not from the content creating side, if it's even just from like the social media content, like content management stuff.
Well, I'm sure you can. I mean, there are plenty of people that have. There's a lot of.
I know, like I could because I see like those types of jobs on Indeed where it's just like, and like they're remote jobs, which is very appealing to me.
Yeah.
Because I don't like leaving my house.
Oh, I've been informed if you search Mage Knight, you're not going to find him because it's Night Mage.
Night Mage? Okay, Night Mage.
I think Mage Knight, was that the game? Maybe that was a game.
I'm just thinking, now my brain's just thinking Mage Hand.
But Night Mage is actually
Night Mage. And is it Night KNI?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Night Mage.
Yeah. I think one of the favorites that he did was his Gizmo Duck.
Gizmo Duck.
And he had done that one at the con. So he was riding around. I think he was riding around on a hoverboard.
That's freaking awesome.
That he had made up with the wheels and everything. And he almost killed himself because there was a lip and he wanted to go over it.
Oh, damn. I just literally plugged him into Google and the first thing I see is Spawn.
Yeah, his Spawn. Yeah, like Todd McFarlane.
That's insane.
Had shared his thing, I remember, and like he was going crazy.
Oh my god. Hawkman?
Yeah.
Oh, this guy's amazing. Did he? Oh my god.
He probably could be a professional cosplayer, but isn't.
I already assume he is, just from what I'm seeing.
He's not, like, unless something's changed over the last couple of years.
Hellboy? That Hellboy's insane.
Yeah, he's really good. And like the thing is, some of them just like he throws them together so fast.
Yeah, the closet cosplayers.
Yeah, so like I actually like I kind of want to cosplay, but I don't actually want to make any costumes. I just want to wear.
Buy one, or you can find an easy cosplay.
I'm trying to convince Ted we could be a team. He does all the hard work, and I just wear it.
So what you could do is like you can also just like find a character who's like got a very simple outfit that you can easily just like buy stuff.
I was trying to figure out like, so when we were going to do our convention, I was like, maybe I will cosplay. And I was trying to think of like all the bearded characters that I would do. Because getting rid of the beard and regrowing is too annoying. So
I've got an option for you if you'd be into it.
What's that?
Did you watch Game of Thrones?
I did.
It's just so this would be hilarious. You cosplay Hodor and you like have a door that like you can like a foam door that you have like backpacked onto you.
Yeah.
And like when people want to take your picture, you literally just like back up against a wall or something, and it looks like you're holding the door.
Nice. That is awesome. That is good.
Get some of those like fake hands like from a Halloween store and just like spray paint them to be White Walker colored. That would be a fun cosplay, and people would just like, I'm just saying, like people would get entertained by that because like you added like the door factor.
That would be really good. I mean,
Because all you really need for Hordor is just a monk, like a monk outfit.
yeah, you're a genius.
Yeah.
Truly.
I don't think I'm a genius by any means. I just saw the beard and I'm like, Hordor.
Yeah. I will keep that in mind. If I ever do cosplay, that's going on the list for sure. You will get full credit.
Oh, thank you.
So, I mean, it was your idea, and you're right. That is a pretty easy one.
It is super easy and it's funny.
Right up my alley.
I lost my like I've seen a Hordor doorstop.
Yeah.
And I lost my mind because I wanted it so bad. It's literally just a little figure, like 3D printed Hordor, and it's a doorstop, and it's just like arms flayed back, just like ah.
So, what was the first D&D character you played this go around?
The first D&D character I've been playing this go around, she is a changeling rogue named Nyx. She's got the arcane trickster subclass. And she is going to be also taking a couple of levels in wizard because I'm going to go the blade singer route with the wizard aspect. And like just because like I fight with Nyx like very close combat. I am a melee rogue. And it's hurting. It hurts because my AC and my HP aren't that good. Because when I first started with her, I didn't know how to prioritize stats, so my constitution was a mess. So I was trying to figure out ways to like boost her AC that wasn't directly tied to like gold spending or having to like rely on hopefully finding a magical item. So I'm just like, blade singer, huh?
Yeah,
like because in my mind,
2 levels.
Yeah, 2 levels of wizard is all you need, and I did the math. I'll have a 20 AC.
Although, I mean, 6 levels of wizard.
I've looked at the 6th level route because I'm like, I could get 3 attacks, but only one would have sneak attack.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Would you get 3 attacks, or are you talking about an offhand weapon?
With Nyx, I fight with 2.
So you get 3 attacks, but 1 sneak attack. But hear me out. You would also be able to cast a cantrip as one of your attacks, which is generally way better than just attacking.
This is the concept I have with her currently without the wizard. Like I have a cursed item on me that allows me to cast Shadow Blade.
Okay.
So currently,
that sounds like doesn't sound like a very terrible curse.
Oh no, it's it takes half my hit points at the beginning of after every long rest.
Oh, don't. Well, that takes half my hit dice. Terrible.
That part is terrible. If I don't feed it the dice, I take a level of exhaustion.
Oh, hit dice? I guess it depends on how often they come up in your game.
With how low my HP is and how deadly the combats have been, often. So currently I do the Shadow Blade. I fight by our barbarian. Me and him try to fight side by side. Shadow Blade. I summon it with my bonus action. Action is I hope I did it right, but because like I'm very iffy on the rules, I didn't get stopped over this. Booming Blade for my action.
Yeah, that technically works.
Booming Blade, Shadow Blade. I do 4d8 damage. And if I'm able to disengage, I will disengage. If like in another turn, if I do it in another turn, I do the disengage.
But round 1 sucks.
Huh?
Round 1 sucks.
Round 1 sucks. Round 1 will always suck. But like the rounds after that, disengage 15 feet. And
I mean, you can also throw the Shadow Blade, but Booming Blade you can't use at a distance.
No. So I've done so far I've done 4d8 damage with the attack plus the 3d6 sneak attack that I currently have, and if they move 5 feet, an additional 2d8.
And I mean, I guess depending on your level, there's also some auto damage in there as well.
Yeah, it's insane. Like I one-shotted one of the enemies one time, and I'm just like, oh, I'm never getting rid of this cursed item.
I find Booming Blade rarely works out though. Like the way, like
It's
they rarely
exclusively
ever take
worked
the
out.
extra damage from moving.
Like, I try my best to make sure it happens, but if
Yeah.
sometimes it doesn't happen. But when it does happen, it's amazing. Like I had an enemy monster fleeing from me before, and like as he was when he was running away from me, I missed my attack. Like my attack of opportunity missed, but he took the damage from Booming Blade because I always attack with Booming Blade.
Yeah.
And like he's just like, oh, so how do you want to do this? And I'm just like, he just kind of just like
he takes a step and explodes.
He takes a step and explodes.
Yeah. Well, whenever I've seen it used in the games that I've been in, what always inevitably happens, like someone will hit something with Booming Blade, but they're in melee with other players anyway. So like they're probably not going to move because they're not going to want to draw the attack of opportunity. So they just end up attacking whoever's near them. But it is good for the rogue because then you can be like, all right, well, if you want to follow me, then you get to
Be like, hey, come here.
Yeah, nice.
I'm taunting you.
What do you want to play for the stream game?
Oh, I know what I'm playing for the stream game. I'm gonna be playing the character I portray on TikTok. Her name is Isadora. She is a half-elf glamour bard with a couple of levels of druid.
What circle?
Circle of Stars. I am a glitter bard.
Nice.
It's a thing. Everyone's just like glamour bard. Nah, she a glitter bard.
Glitter bard. I love it.
I'm sparkling all the time.
Now I want to do that character build, the glitter bard.
It's fun. Like I have a lot of people telling me that that are just like those two classes, their stat blocks don't go together though. And I'm just like, I'm still doing it.
Yeah.
And the way I'm playing it, she's a healer. It's hard. I did a level 20 planned layout of how I would have to do this. And it would all it all depended on if my stats were good. My stats were good, I would be able to do it, but it's gonna be a long road. I'm not gonna be able to take Revivify or any Raise Dead until character level 12.
So are you guys rolling stats?
We rolled stats, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've got my stat block right here.
Hang on. That makes it hard. The last character I played in Ted's game, there was one person peer pressured the rest of a couple of us. We're like, "Can I roll?" And they rolled, and I was like, "Oh, cool." Then me and one other player decided to roll as well, and I actually rolled the best stats I've probably ever rolled in a while, so I can't do that for a while now.
So I rolled from strength to charisma, just in order. I did have a 12, a 14, a 16, a 13, a 16, and an 18.
Oh yeah,
I rolled
stats for sure.
Yeah, I rolled pretty decent stats.
Also, being half elf helps.
Yeah, being half elf always helps. Everyone was telling me a lot of people aren't realizing that the reason I did the Circle of Stars Druid too was just literally I'm only taking 2 levels just so I can get that little extra chalice heal.
Okay.
That's all it's for.
And glitter.
Yeah. It's all those 2 levels are purely for an additional heal boost and aesthetic.
I can get behind that.
Yeah. It's for roleplay reasons. Let me have it.
Now you just need one level dip of life cleric for more healing.
I thought about it, but I need that 18th level for magical secrets for Bard.
Oh yeah.
I need it so I can learn some vital spells.
So you planned it all the way out to level 20, huh?
Yeah.
That's going to be
heartbreaking. I know. I only did it just to see how I can make it work. I don't expect us to get to level 20. This is just like this was just like a layout I did just to see in my mind, can I do this?
Yeah.
If I like, is this a realistic character?
They're all
Is this a
realistic
realistic
characters.
build?
I mean,
Okay, is it a realistic build?
yeah.
Is it a build that will work in the long run as a healer? Because no one made the healer. No one made the healer in the group. And I realized, oh fuck, I'm the only one that can possibly be a capable healer.
You got to ask yourself 2 questions. 1, is this character going to be good? 2, will I have fun playing it?
Yes and yes.
Yeah. So, but if question 1's a no, but question 2 is a yes,
Still do it.
I'll do it anyway.
I'll do it anyway.
They'll figure it out. I mean,
Like I have another character that I did for one shot that's my husband's possibly just turning into a fun little campaign. It was for Strixhaven. I did an Owlin cleric, but since she's an Owlin, she can't wear medium or heavy armor, which is detrimental to a cleric.
I mean, you can. You just can't.
Can.
Fly.
I'm still doing it. I'm still doing it because I only played her once, but I love her and I will die for her, and so will everyone else because she literally. I had an idea going in with her, and my brain, like I feel like the brain of part of me that was that character took over, and she's just like, no, I'm gonna be born right here, and you can't control what's about to happen.
Yeah.
So she's a highly caffeinated Owlin who has very nervous energy. My husband's making a custom feat for her called Caffeinated. It's a feat and a flaw in like hand in hand. If she drinks coffee for an hour, she will have an additional 1d4 boost. So she's blessed for an hour. Yeah. But if after an hour, she crashes. For an hour, she'll have the Bane. So it's a bless and Bane.
Bless and Bane. I would have played Alan. I think I would have made an Alan character based off of the Chicken Hawk from Looney Tunes.
Oh my god, yes. Do it.
And work Foghorn Leghorn into the backstory. Somehow.
I love Foghorn Leghorn so much.
Yeah, the idea of playing a small Alan that's like a barbarian or something.
My Owlin, she's 3 feet tall. She is I modeled her after one of those tiny owls, a northern saw-whet owl.
Oh, nice.
They're just like these little fluffy freckled owls with like these giant eyes.
Their head is just all eyes.
It's literally just all eyes. It's adorable and terrifying.
Have you ever seen where they show like the owl chick sleeping like face down?
Yes, they're so cute.
Or when they pull up like the feathers and show the legs.
I love that. I
so
freaking love that. It's weird, but I'm just like, man, owls got leg for days. You go, girl.
Yeah. So I see a lot of possibilities, fun possibilities with the Owlin.
They're so fun. I love them.
Brian Smith says a Howlin' Owlin.
Howlin' Owlin, a howler owl. Oh my god, a howler owl. If he's a cleric, his toll the dead is a screech.
But also, like, I guess it's funny because like owls are attributed to wisdom, but I don't know. The more owl facts I learned, I don't think they're very smart animals.
No, they're not. They're not very smart animals at all. Those things are dumb.
Yeah, and I also know that they have beef with crows.
They do.
And crows, like, whenever they get a chance to gang up on them and murk them, they will.
The murder of crows will literally murder the owl.
Yeah. So there's that.
Like West Side. It's like the Animal Kingdom's version of West Side Story.
One of my favorite TikTokers is this young black dude that talks about like animal facts, and most of his videos start with, "I'm going to ruin this animal for you."
No.
and like I've learned so much from that guy in 60-minute increment or 60-second increments.
It's amazing how much people can fit into 60 seconds.
I mean, I'm always mystified by that because like me and Ted, we can't even introduce ourselves in 60 seconds.
I've seen some of your bloopers.
Oh yeah. It's bad.
I've seen some of your bloopers.
I don't English well at all. Nor do I speak any other languages, so it's just bad
I
unless you
speak
include
Spanish.
gibberish.
I speak Spanish, but that's because I'm Cuban.
Uh, yeah, I just struggle with English. That's enough for me.
I feel like that's a lot of people though.
Yeah. Were you raised speaking Spanish?
Yeah, my family, my great grandmother immigrated from Cuba with her two twin girls and her two older sons. And my great grandfather, they flew to Mexico from Cuba, then lived there for a year before they were able to legally cross the border, and then they lived in Connecticut for a while before settling in Miami. um I was born, and no one in Miami doesn't not speak Spanish.
Yeah.
Like my husband, whenever he came down to visit, we literally went into the grocery store and they were shocked that he was speaking to them in English. They're just like, and they look at me like
Who does that?
they looked at me. They looked at me like,
Like you did
what's
something
this?
wrong.
They're like, they looked at me like, what does this gringo want? And
Yeah.
I'm just like in Spanish, like, quiere los cigarritos ahí, mi, por favor.
What so now I have a very important question for you.
Yes.
Do you think in English or Spanish?
Depends. Like I can think in both languages. If I'm with my family, I think in Spanish more. And my husband confirmed this. When I talk in my sleep, it is in Spanish.
Nice.
So sleep me definitely thinks and dreams in Spanish.
Nice. But
I got confirmation. I got confirmation from a coworker too, because apparently there was one time they tried to call me in while to see if I wanted to come in early to help do dishes or something in the
Yeah.
kitchen. And I didn't remember the phone call because I was still asleep, but I had answered the phone, and apparently I spoke to them exclusively in Spanish. And they're just like, I had no idea if you were coming in or not, but like I heard the word no at one point, so I had just assumed that meant you weren't coming in. But why were you talking to me in Spanish? I'm like, what are you talking about? You called me?
That's funny. Uh I had a client that was Cuban. Also, his parents were from Cuba, and you know, and also like he looked very white and Caucasian,
Yeah, like
and
me.
like he was telling me about being in the grocery store, and like having having people trying to talk behind his back in Spanish, except for like that's what he spoke. Yeah.
That happened to me all the damn time. I would get like my
Uh,
nails done when I was still living in Miami with like I would go get my nails done and they would start talking crap about me in Spanish, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I speak it too, you know. They make us in this color too, you know.
I actually have a Spanish nickname from when I did construction.
Oh boy, what was it?
The guys used to call well, so I used the guys used to call me Chavita because at the time I had a goatee. So
That's funny.
I was
Yeah,
wait
we
I
we tend to give nicknames based on a bodily appear, or like a
oh
facial
I
feature,
know.
or like their weight or like color of their skin or something.
I know, like, because there's like the five brothers
It's
that I
really
used to work
insulting.
with, and the one was like, kind of short and stocky, and they used to call him Cilindro. Uh, so
Like my great grandmother, she didn't speak any English
yeah,
the entire time she lived in the United States. Um, and I had a friend who he was very well off in high school, so whenever
yeah.
we would hang out, she knew his name, but she willingly chose him to call him El Rico, the rich boy.
Oh
She
yeah.
kept trying to be like, you should go date him, and I'm like, no,
The other brother they
no.
called him Gordo. Uh,
Yep,
and
I had
so
one of
I
those
was
too.
waiting to have my 13th warrior moment because I worked with those guys for like a decade. It never happened. I only know a handful of words, and most of them are curse words. So
Yeah, my grandma only spoke English curse words. It was
uh,
funny because like she would she would say like F, like, so, you know, F you, but she would pronounce the U like Jew. So it
Uh-huh.
sounded like she was also being anti-Semitic.
Oh my god. Yeah.
And like every time she said that in public, where she's like, you can't say that. She's like, you say it all the time. It's like, yeah, but we don't have a thick Spanish accent when we're
Yeah.
saying it. You
Yeah.
sound like you're about to create a hate crime.
it's it's not the same, Grandma. I'm
It's
sorry.
not the same, Grandma. You're making it sound worse.
Yeah. Sorry. I wish I would have picked up more Spanish, but unfortunately, my brain is not great for such things.
It's better when you pick a language up when you're young,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
and I was not. So
Yeah,
that
it's
probably did not
yep.
help.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I had like I had a different client. I think she was from Argentina,
Mm-hmm.
and but she married an American, a white guy, and so when they had a baby, like she would only speak Spanish to the baby, and then she'd be like, oh, you know, Daddy only speaks English, so like just forced to learn both to
Mm-hmm.
communicate with the different parents.
They pick it up like a sponge, though.
Yeah, yeah, it is a lot easier. I mean, it's so baffling though when you only speak like one language and you meet someone that speaks like half a dozen. It's like,
I went to high school with a kid who knew how to do like knew 6 languages fluently, and I'm just like,
yeah,
how?
yeah, yeah. But all of our D&D characters all speak at least at the very minimum 2 languages, but
My
probably more.
rogue, because she's a changeling, my rogue speaks like 7 languages,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, now there's some privilege here.
Yeah. Well, that's my favorite thing about like the changes they made to the ranger. That like now if you play a ranger, like you're more than likely to have the most languages in the game. They made them really a polyglot.
Hmm.
Got?
I haven't played a ranger yet, like long term. I like played one in a like a single session, but
Yeah.
wasn't enough to really like deep dive into the class.
So Brian Smith says grandma swearing with accents is always acceptable and cherished.
It is. I loved it. I got a huge laugh out of it every time. But if she said it in public, I would look around to make sure no one heard.
Yeah, my my grandmother and her parents were from, well, I guess my grandmother's from here, but her parents were from Åland, which is like it's like an island between Norway and Sweden. It's closer to Norway, but they hated the Norwegians and consider themselves Swedes. So, but she would always say like, "Oh, I don't speak Swedish," but she did. Like she could read it and she would understand it when like her, you know, when her grandmother or when my great grandmother would talk to her, which
Right.
was kind of weird. And usually she would like say grace in Swedish as well as English, you know, at all the holidays.
That's I mean, I like that language. I wish I knew it.
Yeah, it's funny because like I guess I was like pretty young when my great grandmother passed away. I was probably like 8, 10, around that age. So, but I still like remember her, and it was like having the Swedish Chef in your house from the Muppets. She was
Oh,
so
there
hard.
you go. There you go.
She
That's a
was,
costume you can do.
yeah, she was so
Swedish
hard.
chef.
She was so hard to understand.
You do Swedish chef as a cosplay. Just get a
Yeah.
chef coat and a top hat and just
Oh,
like some
I do have a I do have a chef hat around here, not very far, but it's the wrong color.
Herbie herb. Bork,
It's
bork, bork.
it's a black chef hat from because I had gotten the coat and the hat for a game we were playing. So we did this game called Dungeons and Delving.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the premise was it's like modern day, but there was a show, a reality show called Dungeons and Delving where people would form adventuring parties and compete on the show, and they'd go into the dungeon and they
Mm-hmm.
would get scored and ranked by judges, and you know how fast they could do a dungeon run as well as like the audience calling in. So the premise for my character was they were a chef and they thought they were signing up for a cooking show, but they're one of their rivals from the cooking show switched the application on them. So
Oh
they ended up in
no.
the the Dungeons and Delving show instead of like an Iron Chef.
Just like picturing just so much confusion on their face, just like this isn't right.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
So I made a battle master that just threw darts, but I just reflavored the darts as being all kinds of different cooking knives.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Like a paring knife.
It was a lot of fun. So we are just at the hour mark. Final thoughts before we head on out?
That this is a lot of fun, and I appreciate you having me.
I appreciate you coming
and
on.
then D&D is fun.
I appreciate you coming on. There are links in the description as always, as well as we got a Kickstarter coming up in the beginning of January. So there's a link over there so you can follow along and check that out as well. And also, if you want some cool dice bags, go hit up Crafty Mirage on Etsy. And until next time.
Chromatic Creations US is the name of the store.
But I have the link tree in the description.
Oh,
has the link to your Etsy store.
Yay! All right, excellent.
For the win. So until next time, stay nerdy.
See ya.